Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a shortish video on setting up my cage and basically outdoor simulator. I'll put a little bit of a link up here on this video to an unboxing and review of this cage that I'm about to set up. It's a separate video on that. Plenty of questions and answers that have been provided in that video as well. Really good information on it. So I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, but really it's just about me setting that up and also the hitting area, the mat I'm using, and a new addition that I'm adding to it as well, which is like a platform that I've made. I've not actually used it yet or even applied it out here, so I'm going to see how that goes. And obviously the Garmin R10 and how I set that up as well. So let's get into it. So here's the boxes of the cage. So we've got all the poles that are sat in there that I'm going to have to assemble, along with the nets, so the big outer net and the inner net, and of course the corner poles and everything else that's going to go alongside of it as well. So yeah, let's start putting this beast together. Right, I just wanted to pause at this point because I think it's important that you know this about this cage. So I made this mistake the first time round when I was actually installing this. Get the two poles into position around all four sides. I was actually, you may have seen it in the hyperlapse, I was parking poles that have basically two pin ends. Okay, so they are to be saved. Save those poles, that type of pole, for the very end. They will be the bottom ones. Okay, so that's just how it works, so just bear that in mind. But the reason all being, getting it to this point and pausing its face, because I'm now going to chuck the net over it and attach it with the Velcro straps across the top, partially down the poles as well. But more importantly, the inner net, the secondary net that sits 1 foot from the back, will also need to be attached inside as well using cable ties. So that's what I'm going to do. Just bear that in mind. The first time I did it, I put it 10 foot up in the air and I was trying to attach the inner net, which wasn't easy. Wow, there we have it, finally done. A whole lot of cable ties. That took longer than I think it took last time. I've gone well over time. I'm actually going to have to go and do the school run in a bit and get the kids, so I'll come back and do the rest of it. But it's done, cage is up. This is it in its glory. I have added quite a few additional cable ties just based on someone commenting on my review video saying that they added more, and I know I had a couple of breakages last season, if you would, while we're using this. So these cable ties are a little bit more robust, plus I've gone to town on it really with the amount that I've applied. But yeah, I mean, it's the Velcro straps as well that seem to just take forever. It's hard work at the bottom. I'm going to say to you now, if you've bought this cage or considering buying this cage, I think someone asked once before, can you just pop it up and down? No. Of course you can, but the time it takes, it's just ideally if you've got somewhere you can have it situated for a long period of time, you're going to be far better off for it. But unfortunately for me, it does come down each and every spring for the summer months, back up for this season. So anyway, let's get on to the rest of it. Okay, so now on to the mat and what I've done with that. So you'll see I created a platform So the last season I didn't bother having it, I just chucked the mat straight on the floor, but it was just destroying the grass really. It was uneven, so I thought, right, I've seen someone online sort of create and put a platform underneath, so I thought I'd do something the same. So yeah, bought a load of wood, cut it, measured it, basically screwed it together. That is now sat underneath the mat, so it's leveling it and also giving it a bit of that stability that I wanted. And of course I've got the slightly smaller to the platform, 4 foot by 5 foot heavy duty mat. So the mat is a third hand mat. It's okay, it's not in the best conditions, but it's sufficing, and it's you know, it's still got some life in it. It's obviously from some driving range or something like that. They must have had it there and they've just sold it to the gentleman that I bought it from, but it's good for now. And that's just sat on top of it. And then obviously 7 feet behind that, I've got the Garmin R10 sat on a little homemade stand that's just basically just a piece of wood with 4 holes drilled in it with some 8mm bolts at full stretch now, obviously because of the platform, at the same level as the mat, and then leveled each time I put it on the floor. So from the mat to the net, so the rear net, or the inner net, sorry, it's over 10 foot now in this position. So I'm always aiming for like a 10-foot ball flight for the Garmin, and that just gives you optimal results from what I've seen anyway, from what I've read online. So I've always tried to do that, but also giving me that safety element with this, because as you've seen, and as we all are prone to them occasionally, is the odd shank. So as long as if that happens, the side net's going to be able to catch that as well. So that is my home setup. Please like and subscribe this video, and stay tuned to some future videos in this, or take a look at all the ones that I've already done so far. As I said, there's a review of this cage as well, but if you've got any questions about this mat, the platform, the Garmin, the cage itself, or any of my setup in this outdoor environment, drop a comment down below and I'll respond to all comments and questions. And yeah, I'll see you on the next video.